Warning to all listeners and viewers. This video episode from Sober Tuck Session is to enlighten our Black African communities, and morely, for educational purposes, and no one should be disrespectful or mockery to these individuals. There are 4 African women in these video with sad stories, true testimonies. And this testimonies is for the OAU, ECOWAS and Pan-African Organization. This organizations has no meaning for African people existence as union. All we hear from these so-called African organizations is gain talks imitating Shakespeare grammar English, and neo-colonia French European bureaucracy protocols. I firmly believe that corruption in Africa is not only from politicians but also fake imams and fake pastors. They blaspheme the true God of heavens and above, and earth and below, that create every being, and religions. Pastors and imams should be the ones to lead politicians as God's nations in the right way. It has reached time to take these corrupt African bulls by their horns and names. Let's start with these so-called former British West Africa colonies, Sierra Leone, Ghana, the Gambia and Nigeria. These sister countries are the most arrogant countries in the region that pretend to be smart, intelligent, civilized than other African countries of non-Anglophone. I hope we as Africans don't watch this video with emotion or sentiments.
Abroad, I want to go to abroad. I won't go abroad. I want to go to abroad. I want to go to the abroad. You don't go Caritas. The Caritas where they say no food, no nothing. How do I survive? How do I survive? I lost my documents. How do I survive? I'm supposed to get that document. Document comes to come up with my hands. But people they think say you they crazy. They think say you know where. Okay, that's just who is the answer. Make the answer when you get out. I wanted the number. If make the answer, I wanted the number. Woman for that matter, I go peace. I go back. Wait. I beg you to do something. Who they hear my story? I beg you to deliver my people to the Nigeria. I beg they deport me go back to my country. Everybody is here. I beg. I beg you that who they say answer to that who they place. They don't take me to stay. Since I make that video, when I take care of my say for most of the world. Now because of me, they make me make that video. Now me, they make me make that video. That cry, they make that video. You know better than that. You don't do. You don't do. You cry come outside. You don't do. You know better than they cry come outside. Since I make that video, now just don't play that on the place for life. They come bring it into reality. So if I hear outside, you don't do. You don't do, yeah? You don't do, no worry, they go help you. At the video room. You don't do. I beg me na help and me I dey pity for herself. I beg. Anybody will see this video, I beg me na help this woman. I beg. I just dey feel the pain. I beg. You don't do, yeah? They go help you. You dey here, they'll help you. Don't do. No. You know you see, you see. You don't do. I beg. Where you come from? Na Calabar, Nigeria.
We've heard from their first sister from Nigeria, stranding in Italy, pleading for Italian government to deport her. Where is the OAU? Where is ECOWAS? Where is Pan-African organizations? Where are all the Nigeria's government billion-dollar politicians and civil servants with the people's money? Are we still blaming Europe and the West? These organizations have been on Africa's solutions since independence, spending the people's money over 500 meetings every year, both internal and external, with huge allowances, expensive hotels and flights with the people's money. Can we stop Europeans of throwing their baits? No. 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 It's time for Africa to love her children and say no to European baits. Every season have its reap. The West have their own internal problems. Europe has to take care of her own children. I think it's time for Africa to let some things go, for some things to come. And that will only happen if Africa stop crying blame games, and get up from her comfort zone. This is the other sister. Her story is a bit different. It's very important to first know, our race as African blacks, we are people of family, means husbands and wives. Being a true black African is not only the color of our skin or structure and design of our motor body, but our unique ways of life through creation. Human being can't challenge God's creation. Women were not created to go through what this second sister is going through. She've got all it takes. But one priceless thing missing is that special creature called man. It's time for women to take their role as women instead of tussling with men for gender equalities. Men are called sons of God, whilst women are titled as daughters of men. Most people may not agree with my statement, probably because of modern civilizations, science, technology and money. But we can't challenge God's creation in nature.
Going to Canada, I feel so alone. And I feel like I live with someone I can't have a conversation with, and I'm trying to cry and I even have to be silent about it. 'Cause you just lose out on so many things. Your life, you just leave it behind. Your friends, and I'm so hurt and my heart hurts. You have to work all the time. I have school. I'm so sad. I'm hurting so much. I don't have any friends.
I do respect this sister's giving thoughts about UK, but totally disagree with her take from the issue of UK's been a stressful kingdom. The United Kingdom is designed economically and socially to meet with lifestyle and way of life for British. Leaving a lifestyle in Britain as British, or non-British, is a choice. These are the problems most Africans face in UK and other parts in the West. Some Africans come in the West with high expectations of bed and roses. Most important in the UK are basic food, shelter, healthcare, and 24 hours public transportation. Nobody tamper with these basics in the UK. Other boardings like personal home, hair decoration, private vehicle. Having abundance of children a favour, but not government obligations. I totally agree with extreme rises of basic commodities in this modern times, in the UK. This tough times are like rainfall. When it falls, it's fall on all. When sun shines, it shine on all. When most Africans arrive in UK or other parts in the West as Africans, certainly after few months they changes their ways of life to Germanic European lifestyle. Yes, it's true. Anyone can leave a Germanic lifestyle as long as you make your money through the laws.
Child-minder that actually collect £8 per hour, and let's say for instance you are earning the average wages is £10 per hour. Let's say for instance that you are earning £10 per hour and £8 per hour is already going for childcare. Tell me how much is left at the end of the month, and there are some other bills that needs to be paid. So I don't like the fact that it's super expensive and you don't have support, you don't have friends. So for instance, when I had my baby, the strength I did not know that I had to bring out that strength from nowhere. I had to do everything by myself, you know. All that is left is for them to tell you to pay for hair. You literally pay for gas monthly, you pay for rent monthly, you pay for electricity, you pay for insurance, you pay for council tax, you pay if you have your income versus your expenses. You find out that you are left with little or nothing, and you're thinking, What is going on? You're wondering if something is wrong with you. What am I not doing right? What am I doing wrong? But it is what it is. Bills are your child, which is what I'm doing at the moment, because I can't imagine earning £100 and £80 is already going to childminder. What am I doing with £20 at the end of the day? And there are so many bills that has to be paid as well. So currently, I'm sitting at home. So if you see me on braids, currently I've been making my braids myself, because all these prices are ridiculous. So I don't like the fact that everything is just so stressful in this country. Everything is just so costly. Everything is just so pricey and frustrating in this country. You literally have to pay for every damn thing. Hey, God, I beg you. Somebody who is already going through some mental issues. This guy literally sold everything in his home country, Nigeria, hoping that he's just going to come here and start plucking money from the tree. But the bills has really gotten to the guy, and now he is in between going back to Nigeria and staying here. But the reason why he cannot go to Nigeria is simply because he has sold everything. Now he got here and found out that he's actually living a better life in Nigeria than here.
This is one of their sister, Nora, a young beautiful Cameroonian academic. This sister was deceived by her own black African people for job in Dubai. Nora and the other sisters are not the only victims of these barbarian acts. There are millions more from Africa who are going through these modern slavery. This is where I question myself. Where is OAU? Where is ECOWAS? And where is Pan-Africa Organization? Where are all the governments of Black Africa? People class them as corrupt leaders, but, sincerely speaking, they are nothing but legal thieves. The word democracy is fine by its interpretation, but in reality, it's a deceptive ideology, or, shall I say, behind closed doors institutions. I measure democracy in these situations, because it's always African leaders' anthems of open speeches. If even Africa takes democracy as way of governing her people, I presume, is yet too early or probably can't work for Africans. We Africans can say whatever we wish to say about the West. But they don't joke with suspicious movements of their citizens' safety. Do Africans still blame other racial ethnic groups of not loving her own children? I think it's only a witchcraft that gives her children for occult or ritual sacrifice. Let's listen to Nora's story.
It won't be long before disgruntled Nora gets the epiphany that her only chance to survive in Dubai are joining the homeless blacks in the comfort of the unforgivingly cruel environment of Dubai's Union Metro station. With no hope whatsoever, her painful ordeal is all she can translate through tearful words as a dark memoir to whomever and whatsoever reason one from her fellow home nation would dare undertake like adventures, or peradventure a good Samaritan.
I watched firsthand the despicable conditions faced by immigrants at the Union Metro station. People striving for food, shelter, some of them don't even have a decent bath.
You want water? Only one there. Only one like this. Only one there. How are you, my sister? Are you doing well? Yeah, what a wonder, what a wonder. You give me 2, I take 1. Only one. Oh, thank you. May God bless you, my sister. Water.
The famous Union Metro station. She had heard tales of the terrible situation those who found themselves here faced. Her frustrations began to raise her heartbeat as she saw young men and women, and more like her age group, sleeping in the open, choked up and clumped together like a swarm of idle flies, and looking surprisingly comfortable with a sorrel ermine. And in that singular moment, Nora realized her life had just gone from north to south.
You see, all of us seated here. We don't have anywhere to go. We don't have anything. For me, I just sell water to make the ends meet. Also, agent wrote me, say, you find for me a job, you take the office, you go to Arabs, you work. They don't pay, my sister. But if you want to join me to sell water, no problem, you can come. Or if you want for me to take you to immigration of Cameroon, I can help you, my sister. But this Dubai, too much sunshine, too much work. For me, the whole day say water. Don't cry, my sister, okay? Don't cry, please, okay? Everything is gonna be alright. All they have problems, some are in overstay, some don't have what to eat. Some, too much problem, Dubai, okay? Also me selling water every day, water. Too much sunshine, you sweat. I need just a little to make the ends meet. But Dubai is too much difficult.
Tamaki is a term for moving around in search of a job.
Stranded, hungry, and desperate, Nora tried her hands in prostitution. And this is what so many young girls do when they come to Dubai, as she found out, realizing the greener pastures was unfortunately a pile of dried hay and in fact a grey pasture. Prostitution is a very common activity here, mostly involving Africans in a bid to survive. Nora wasn't raised that way, but her need to survive was by far superior to any sense of virtue left in her conscience. Products. Things could only get worse, and on one occasion Nora was almost caught, and the consequences would be fatal: repatriation, imprisonment, or anything far desperately worse. Facility used or intended to be used as sleeping accommodation for an individual. The bed space is nothing like a usual comfy accommodation. These are independent rooms in Dubai, littered across the street, starting anywhere from 1,500 dirhams, going up to 6,000 dirhams in a flat share accommodation.
The bed spaces here are really terrible. There are no words to describe my experience. You find people struggling for a square inch of bed space, paying about 300 to 600 dirhams, depending on the position of the bed space, whether it is the floor or on the deck. Curtains and plywoods are being used to separate people, and if you're lucky, you get a partition, which is a plywood is being used to separate you from the next person.
In this room, we actually have about 4 to 5 different nationalities. We have Cameroonians, Ghanaians, Sierra Leoneans, Nigerians, and other nationalities living in this place. Like I said earlier, it is a bed space where people have to share, like you have the upper side and the down side. That's how life is in a typical bed space setting here in Dubai.
Location and amenities, but in general, bed spaces are more like prison wards that are void of confinement and warders. So most people who have the chance of getting a bed space are squeezed up with each mates, and most often herself.
They could make you tourist visa for come, and that tourist visa maybe cost too much. So if you want to check out at the end, maybe they don't spend like 600,000 for you to come to buy visa and flight ticket. Then when it comes on one day, when the one day where they see us, they will come find you for airport safe. Yes. Then so one day they will abandon you for airport. Yes.
You might say you are coming to Dubai to search for greener pasture, but it's not that. Yeah, especially searching for a job is not easy. You find a situation where you go through agents, they will ask you for commission. A job which you will receive maybe 1,200 dirhams, they will ask you for commission for about 800 dirhams for a month, which means you work for about 2 months free. 2 months free, just like that. So it's not easy looking for a job.
People get paid based on their nationalities, irrespective of their qualification.
And that one is very common in Dubai. Just imagine girls who left their country coming to Dubai for a work, and at the end they never had that opportunity, that job. So they will end up prostituting. So as to cope, because life here in Dubai is not really easy.
Having lost my job, all my money, and my visa expired, I only expect amnesty. At least all hope is not lost.
The only chance they get them for go back for their country now when amnesty come, because when they give amnesty, if you get your money for pay a flight ticket, yes, that one if you clear everything and you go back for your country.
Tell me, not all Nigerians have these thoughts, but most other Nigerians always claim to title themselves as giants of Africa. I believe giants are warriors that sacrifice, fight every battles with every drops of blood, strength, for their people, sovereignty and integrity. After independence of British West Africa, your 3 younger sisters of British West Africa, and the rest of Africa, gave all their support to you to be there for them, at all time. Not every country in the West may agree with the United States of America. But they are always there for the USA, and USA is always there for them, in good and bad times. The Chinese are always there for Chinese. Russians are always there for Russians. Both Arabs of Middle East and North Africa are always there for Arabs, and many other nations do the same for their people. But Africa always gives blind eyes to her children. Why? I'm very sure that only sober-minded Nigerians with knowledge, wisdom and understanding will comprehend my question. Look what's been going on with our women from Africa. For almost decades, most of our brothers deceived the sisters for better jobs out of black Africa. I'm not making up these news. Listen to this beautiful Nigerian sister's story of how she was treated by Arabs in Oman. My question is, what's the use of they so-called men of God of the 2 main religions of Nigeria? Are these 2 main religions only for traditions and customs? Or for they true God of both heaven and earth? The Lord Jesus Christ is still warning you to turn from your abomination. If not, your coal will keep increasing in the fire oven. What's the use of electing all these so-called neo-civil servants and politicians in Nigeria? Were you people not elected to be watch over God's people? I'm not a preacher. The Sober Tuck Session media is just for Africa's enlightenment, not for social or racial divisions.
Country, because there's Uganda and other countries were there, Ethiopia and all that. When I could not cope with the harassment, if I did not leave, I'm sure is that the man forced me to have sex with me, or he killed me, because I'm nobody to them. To them, they will be telling us that they own us for that 2 years. They can actually do anything they want. As actually they've paid for our own life in our own country, so they can actually do anything they want for us. 99% of ladies out there, Arab country, they are using them as a slave. And if everybody is comfortable being in Arab country and does not want to come back home, the person is actually having sex with the boss. Deal over there. You have sex, you exchange it with your peace. You don't have sex, then you don't have peace. Collected our international passports, and we were told that the next day the family we are going to work with will come pick us up. But before then, we were given a note, an agreement form that we are going to work there for 2 years, 2 good years. So we signed, not knowing what we're actually going into. After we signed, that was when we were told that someone would come and pick us up. Then we started asking a series of questions, type of work, where and other. And the agent was like, were you not told that you guys are coming for an housemaid job? They call us Shangala. Our name over there is Shangala. And the meaning of Shangala is slave, which Yoruba people call Eru. So we can actually know the meaning immediately we get there, not even the Arab language. I joined. It's now only me and I myself alone with my creator. Then I joined the first family. The family the madam was so nice, but the Oga was something else.
Are they Arabs or Nigerians?
Arab country. The Oga is the kind of person that is always at home 24/7. It's the madam that do go to work and feed the family. So once she's out, I will start fixing my L. And immediately she comes back, she'll be like, you never work, you never do anything. Because I won't be able to do anything, not even clean the house. Most times she would seize her food. Once the children are playing, they pour me water, they do all sorts of nonsense. And Oman is a country whereby you don't work for one family, you work for extended family. And the madam mother has like close to, let's say, 19 children. I walked through 10 children, 3 homes.
We've heard from all the sisters. Listen very carefully, sisters. There are 2 sides tucks in every matter. Now you're pretending being victims. You knew very well and aware of the risk behind women traveling alone to no concrete abroad. Most African women these days just believe they can do whatever as men. So please don't play victims. Africans has been brainwashed with equal rights, freedom and justice. These 3 entities dwells within every human being, and are priceless. If we don't sell ours, no one will force us in this modern days to sell. We've always been victims from other racial groups because of selling our God-given rights for money. No racial groups were born or created with money. I believe every race was created with gift. Europeans have knowledge. We Africans have gift of nature. So, why we Africans can only be free from these bondages if we accept ourselves as true Africans, rather than only being Africans by skin color and trying to leave a European lifestyle. These problems are not only blames of European. One can understand 200 years back of European colonialisms, but today is not as times back. If we still believe the West will play fair games with us, then we will ever live with delusion. Human race is all about survival through power. Power can be obtained in different ways. We don't need Western degrees or parliamentary laws to solve our African ways of life as ethnic race. What we need is the spirits that makes us true Africans inside. And we should not allow no money or material to buy our Africanism. I know most African will not agree with me or even other ethnic racial groups. But Think it over and give your opinions.